Hello and welcome back to starsidecafe. We're doing our E3 press conference discussions right now. EA just wrapped up theirs, and they showed us quite a bit of Anthem, at least a lot more than we've seen before. I'm the host, Zach Owens, and joining me is Aaron Capo.
Hello.
And yeah, we're just going to kind of go over it a little bit, break it down, and talk about what we thought was interesting. So, I guess in general, how did you feel about it?
So the first time I heard about Anthem, I was kind of like, all right, whatever, an EA game, let's wait and see. And this is the first time they've actually shown some detail. We got a trailer last year, but I had a lot of questions after that trailer. And in this one, they're really opening up more about how the game is played, and specifically, this is something I was not aware of. There are 4 types of mech suit you can have. So basically 4 classes or 4 jobs, and you can swap between them when you want, which is also super exciting. You don't have to pick a certain one and go throughout the whole story with that. So It seems like it's like Destiny, but you can be any one of the 3 classes anytime you want, which sounds great.
Yeah, I guess they kind of hinted at that with the original thing that they showed off at E3 last year. Where they talked about how, so-and-so was just leveling up this one suit of armor that they had. So it sounds like, you can swap them out kind of the way you would armor sets in other games. And I wonder how they'll be upgraded and leveled up and what sort of upgrade paths there are, or like skill trees or anything like that. They didn't really get into any of that.
Should we talk about the 4 javelins?
Yes. So there are the Ranger, which is sort of the up close and personal one. There's
versatile.
Yeah, there's the Colossus, which is the big tank one that has this shield thing that he can hold up. Then there's the Interceptor, which I wasn't super clear on, and also one called Storm, which...
Yeah, Storm looked very interesting to me.
Yeah, that one seems like the more mobile one, because it seems like they're always sort of hovering and flying, and they can teleport and stuff like that.
It has a cape as well.
Oh, so this is, you think, maybe like the Hunter from Destiny.
I don't know, it looks more wizardy to me. I think this is the one that is most in touch with the Anthem of Creation or whatever. The mystic energy that's happening around the world. It definitely has blue crackling energy more so than any of the other ones.
Yeah, so I guess we should say they talked a little bit about the story in the world state. They mentioned that there is this thing called the Anthem of Creation that sounds kind of vaguely similar to the Traveler and the Light in Destiny, where it's this sort of power source that is very mysterious, but it they said it leads to things like a lot of storms and sort of chaos and monsters, and it's sort of responsible for all this craziness in this world. And so I guess we'll find out a lot more about it once we start playing. But your goal is essentially to push back against this evil thing called the Dominion, I think is what they said it was.
Yes. But also the Scar are also a thing in the game, which are another enemy race. Or maybe type? I'm not really sure.
Yeah. But you get to use the Anthem of Creation as a weapon as well. So
yes.
It's not all evil, but it is sort of supplying power somehow. So yeah, it sounds kind of Destiny-like.
It's Destiny, but there are 4 classes, and you can change classes whenever you want. And also, they made a big emphasis on the story doesn't really take place unless you're in the hub world, and when you're out in the open world, you're just playing with friends. Is that something that you got when you were watching it?
Well, so it was weird. They were talking about how they wanted to make it so that when you went back to the hub world, that was sort of a solo, single player experience.
Yeah.
And so you were it sounds a little bit like if you were to play something like Mass Effect or Dragon Age and you go back to one of the spaces where you talk to all the people and there's all the story elements. But when you actually go out into the world to do missions and things, that's where all the sort of cooperative things happen, and that's where all the shared world experience is had. which I think is an interesting approach that may make it so that they can actually deliver the story elements that BioWare is more known for, and that Destiny just kind of doesn't have.
Yeah. Something else I thought was cool, you can go underwater.
Yeah, so you can fly, obviously. Essentially, you're Iron Man. Like, everybody in this world is Iron Man.
Yeah, the jetpacks look solid. Like, that looks like great gameplay. Flying around and stuff looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be really cool. But yeah, you can also go underwater. They've shown that multiple times.
To me, though, did you get this sense that, like, you can fly around and stuff, but it does seem like you're always in some sort of linear canyon to me. Like, you can't go left and right too much. It seems like there's high walls on either side of you.
I guess it's hard to tell. Maybe it's just what they showed.
Yeah, that could be. And that might also be just like maybe I'm not seeing something.
It's not clear how big the playable and explorable space is, and if there's like more than one area, or, you know, because in Destiny there's multiple planets you can go to. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case with Anthem.
No, I think this is all Earth-based. Or, I mean, is it even Earth? I don't know. Good question.
We don't know. But yeah, they have not really shared anything as far as the size of the space. So,
yeah. Well, so here's a question. Do you think there's going to be strike, like adjacent things they're not going to call strikes? Or do you think it's all going to be story? Or like, what do you think the end game is? Like, the thing we were talking about is like, this is Destiny if the devs of Destiny got to watch Destiny come out and then react to all that while they were developing their Destiny. So like, you would imagine that they have some grand plans to keep people playing this like day to day, some sort of good end game, wouldn't you think?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because Destiny was always pitched as sort of a first-person MMO. And so that always makes you think, well, then we need daily and weekly things. We need updates. We need add-ons, and we need reasons to keep coming back. I'm not sure that they've necessarily pitched Anthem that way. We just sort of want to because it's very similar to what we...
Interesting.
So it is a shared world shooter, essentially. That's sort of a looter shooter, but they haven't specifically...
But there could be an end.
They haven't specifically said what their plan is as far as like daily or weekly or seasonal events. They have said that it's they want it to be... They want there to be a story. They want you to have a story to play through. They want there to be interesting characters for you to meet and talk to, and that they wanted to make it so that it was a fun cooperative experience, but that you could also play the entire thing through by yourself, single player, and that wouldn't, your gameplay wouldn't be diluted at all by the cooperative element, like the story of it.
Well, speaking of cooperative, let's talk about the combos. There's like some sort of combo system in this.
Yeah, which maybe that's something they've pulled from Mass Effect, where you had multiple powers and there were like status effects that you could sort of apply to people, and then when you hit them with a different type of power or status effect, it caused this explosion. It sounds like a similar system is going to be in Anthem, because at one point they're doing the 4-player mission where they're all out there fighting these Scar people, or whatever they're called, and one of the Javelin suit guys hits like a group of them with this like freeze effect that like froze them in place, and then the other guy hit them with some sort of explosion and it popped up with combo.
Yeah, combo, and like it was doing a ton of damage. It seemed very satisfying.
Yeah, I like the fact that they have the damage numbers popping up. I don't know why, that's such a small thing, but you almost have to have it now because it's super satisfying.
Yeah, it is very satisfying. I came away from what they showed at the conference like very positive on this game.
I did as well. I was always very hopeful for it and kind of excited to see more, but based on what they showed, I'm probably more excited now than I was before. I was a little hesitant before, I guess I should say, but...
Now, you've done a little bit more research on this post the press conference. What else have you uncovered?
So, what else did I find?
The release date is February 22nd, if we didn't say.
Oh yeah, so Game Informer has some exclusive coverage, and they had an interview with lead producer Mike Gamble, who said there's going to be no romances
Ooh.
which is, a thing Bioware is known for. They're known for
first.
that. Yeah, but there are friendships, which is, I guess, another thing Bioware is known for.
Yeah.
So, like, they wanted to make it feel kind of like the Citadel DLC from Mass Effect, where you could kind of make friends and hang out with people, and you had these nice little moments together with them, like Commander Shepard and Garrus hanging out. And,
throwing that bottle up in the air.
Yeah, and shooting it and sort of challenging each other.
That's great.
So yeah,
what a great scene that was.
They want to lean into that, and they're just not doing the romantic stuff, which I guess is whatever.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, it's not a thing I really care about, but
I want to see people play this, and I want to see what kind of drops people are getting. It seems like there are going to be boss battles, because at the end of that little slice of gameplay, we got like a giant bug was dropping in. Like, I want to see how the boss battles, are they just tanks? Do they have mechanics? Is it like Destiny where you just have to bullet sponge shoot it continually? There's some sort of like evolution of the fight where it's like mobile in some ways? Like, I want to know a lot more about this, and hopefully they're going to be showing a lot more.
Well, they also, as they were like flying around from place to place, they encountered a world event monster that was like this huge skyscraper-sized thing.
Some sort of like abysmal, it was called like the abysmal something.
Yeah, it
was like a lava monster almost.
They didn't fight it, so we didn't get to see what it could do, but it seemed very interesting.
I'm into this, Zach.
I am as well.
So far, this has been my favorite thing. I mean, it's not E3 hasn't technically started, but this is something I'm pretty excited for. This is a good day one.
Yeah, it started on a high note, I would say.
Do you have any other things you want to talk about Anthem? I'm just very positive on it overall.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like watch and rewatch that trailer over and over again and see what else I can pull from it.
I would say probably post E3, probably for like a week or 2 weeks after E3, we'll be putting out more stuff as we learn more and recaps of like what we thought of the show overall. And I'm sure even a day from now, but more so like 5 days from now, we'll know even more about Anthem. So we'll do a follow-up video about even more things that we liked and disliked, post like impression videos we see and whatnot. But for now, I would say keep your eyes glued to this channel, because Microsoft and Bethesda are tomorrow, and Bethesda's primed to premiere something very exciting. We'll see.
And follow us on Twitter, because I will be posting stuff on there throughout the shows.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Let us know what you thought of the Anthem reveal.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.